Konnichiwa, y'all, and welcome to the 10 at 10 for Tuesday, the 29th of July of 2025. We got a great 10 at 10 for you here today.
Dude, it's summertime. Things are heating up here at MrMaple. We're excited to be hanging out with you guys today. We got a killer lineup of some plants for you here on our 10 at 10. We're going to be featuring 10 out of the 20 that we're going to be listing for this Tuesday. So if you guys want to see the whole list, make sure you sign up for that weekly email that gives you access to the full list of what we're going to release on our Tuesday and Thursday sales.
Guys, we also have an upcoming open house on Labor Day. Make sure to join us here at MrMaple for an awesome time. We're going to be open September 1st from 8 to 4 p.m. Some crazy plants, some awesome times. We hope you'll join us. We'll have a food truck here serving breakfast and lunch. So definitely come check us out. It's going to be an awesome time. Great time to be in Henderson County. Come check out MrMaple at Labor Day.
Yeah, it's going to be a great weekend, man. We hope you guys can come out and hang out with us and talk about plants and, come find us. We'll shoot some top fives. If you got like a top 5 list that's heavy on your mind, your favorites, come talk to us about it. We'll do a video where you can tell the world what your top 5 favorite Japanese maples are. We love doing that. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to connect with other people and just a fun way to share your plants.
All right, guys, it is warm out here today. It is feeling sunny. We have some sunny coming back on the 10 at 10 and some excellent sizes. Brian, you were just telling me, I think the sizes have never been better than right now during the year. Like, this is an excellent time to grab trees because I don't know if these are listed as XLs. They're great sizes.
Dude, these things are huge. I love the way they've got some really nice branch structure going on with these. And Sunny, it's an up and coming. I think when it comes to those yellows, this made my top 25.
It's a hit.
So, it's definitely one of those yellows that is really, really setting itself apart, man. And that crazy, you get the yellow, but you get the spring color interest as well, which is kind of something you don't always get with a lot of those yellows. So really nice orange colors in the spring, transitioning to this bright chartreuse greens and yellows.
Give this one some early morning sun in the spring. You'll be surprised. I love the bold orange it gets. Goes that yellow. It's a seedling from Jordan, so it does share some similarities there. A lot of vigor too, over a foot of growth a year. You're going to want to protect this one from the hot afternoon sun, but man, it lights up an atmosphere. You're absolutely going to love this one at a shadier spot. We recently just did a podcast on the top plants for shade. Sunny's definitely on that list.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I love that you can see that kind of hybrid influence that it has with Shirosawa and palmatum leaf. Very reminiscent of those like Jordan or Summer Gold. Gives you that feel, but you get that special spring color. I think that's kind of what sets it apart, is that really nice orange spring color. And if you push the sun on this a little bit too, you can get kind of these really nice bleached out colors on it. Really kind of bright whites, creams, kind of with that yellow undertone underneath. Super crazy plant.
Yeah, these are going to work zones 5 through 9. Being a Shirosawa with them, it does push the zone a little bit. So you get a little more protection of those heavy, polar vortex zone 5 winters. The Shirosawas do outperform in those. So very cold tolerant plant here. Absolutely love it. It's becoming a fan favorite quick. Grab you an excellent size Sunny on the 10 at 10 today. If you're looking for an awesome pairing with that Sunny, look no further than our next tree. We're bringing back Shirosawa Bronze Age.
Dude, Bronze Age is such an amazing cultivar. Talon Buckholtz introduction. And again, we talk about sizes, these summertime sizes. You got a lot of that spring growth already happened. Now you're getting that secondary growth, that summer coming off of this. Beautiful, bright red, kind of pinkish tones coming on that new growth with that olive green color underneath.
I love it. What really flips me out is it goes from that yellow eye, bronze color in the spring, bronze midsummer, more of a red early spring, to a golden yellow in the fall. It just flips me out. It goes so much color change. Sometimes our wives can be our biggest critics. I mean, I know you have Haruko Buckholtz says this may be his best tree. So Talon Buckholtz's wife, she says this is probably her favorite selection by Talon. That's saying a lot. It's a great plant. Absolutely love the colors this one gets. I find it to be an awesome pairing with something like Sunny. Also something like Moonrise. Really good tree to pair with this.
Yeah, I love the texture this one gives you. Nice Matsumura style leaf on that. Kind of that another one of those hybrid Shirosawa and palmatum. Really, really cool texture on this. I love Matsumura style leaves. And I think what really is cool about Bronze Age is you get, every season there's an interest, something exciting happening. That spring, like you said, you kind of almost get a little bit of reminiscent of that in this new summer growth, is that kind of that yellow veining, the yellow eye to that red. Really, really striking presence in the garden. Like I said, this is one of my favorites, you know, and it really hadn't been out that long either. So it's like it's really starting to make a big name for itself out in the current trade.
We've been really trying to turn out numbers on this. Great size in it. Any of the Talon Buckholz introductions, we've been really pushing at the Buckholz farm. Awesome plant, y'all. This one, again, zones 5 through 9, but again, that Shirosawa parentage on this one does give it the edge in those polar vortexes. Excellent sized trees, well developed, looking great right now. Buckholz grown, Buckholz named. Grab you one of these today. They're awesome.
Don't get much better than that.
All right, man, you know it'd be great to pair with Bronze Age?
Right.
Moonrise.
Moonrise. One of my all-time favorite Japanese maples, man. We got Acer, Shirosawa, and Moonrise. Introduction by our good friend Carl Munn. He knows how to do it right. I mean, we went out there, got a chance to see his operation there. It was so cool to finally meet him. And just to see all the hard work that goes behind a lot of these cultivars that we see. I think sometimes as a collector, you may kind of forget about all the hard work that goes into that. And I know Carl, you know, spent his life's work trying to perfect these different cultivars that he selected, and Moonrise is no exception.
Love this one, guys. I got a picture with the original one out there.
Yeah.
Carl, huge mentor to us. I mean, like Talon, one of those guys that really poured into us early on. He's helped me so much in the trade, and I can't say enough great things about Carl and Shirley. I love this tree. Moonrise, it brings it. One of the better Shirosawas for a little bit more sunny spot in the south. This one, a little bit more true Shirosawa too. Less hybrid, more of that traditional full moon leaf.
Right.
Lovely color patterns. I come up with this the other day, and Tim stole it twice, but it's kind of like the flamethrower of maples. Because you get that yellow, green, orange, new growth going on. You get that whole plethora of colors, especially the summer on the new growth. It's not uncommon to be green, yellow, kind of pink, red flushes over top of that. So you kind of get that crazy trifecta of colors all at one time.
You know, I really love that about Moonrise. It's always got some kind of an exciting color going on. But, you know, one of my favorite things that I learned about it over the years, and I think this comes into that Shirosawa influence, is that it's later to leaf out. So the big spring show happens, right? And all your like early spring stuff's popping off. But then Moonrise is just sitting back, just waiting.
Hold up, buddy.
Like, hold on. You think you saw something, just check this out. And then it comes out in these amazing, crazy fuchsia pinks, like kind of these weird, like orange pink tones on it. Just absolutely insane. I always love that. Like the spring interest on this, I think, is just absolutely phenomenal. And then like when you get into those summer months, that chartreuse highlighter green color out there just pops.
Oh, I love it. I said it with the other two Shirosawas too, but I think you really hit on it there too. You know, they're more cold tolerant, but part of that is that later to leaf element. Like this does leaf out a little bit later than the rest of the trees in the garden, which protects you from some late frost and cold freezes and things like that. So a few more weeks of dormancy isn't the worst thing in zone 5 for sure.
Exactly.
I absolutely love this though. Amazing tree. I've got a large one here in the ground we brought in from Carl many, many years ago. It's probably a 25-plus-year-old Moonrise.
Right.
A lot of people, it's their favorite tree when they come visit my parents here at Maplewood Gardens. And it's probably a solid 10-foot wide, 12, 14-foot tall, huge canopy, huge caliper.
Oh, man.
And it eats the sun up here at Zone 6B in Western North Carolina. It really hasn't had a problem. Now, it's getting more shaded now as more trees around are starting to grow. But at one point, that tree was pretty much a full sun on its own, and it really has thrived and done well.
Yeah, this definitely, like you said, it's one of the more heat tolerant of those Acer Shirosawa varieties. So you can push it out there in your sun exposure just a little bit more. I grew this in Oklahoma, so if you want a testament to its heat, I mean, it gets hot out there, really dry, hot, humid summers there, and it handled the heat just fine. Never had any real burn issues on it at all. It really just impressed me. It was one kind of a centerpiece maple in my mind. You know, whenever you think about like building your garden, you need like that crucial centerpiece to it, and Moonrise just makes such a bold statement out there. I think everything else you put around it is going to make it look better. So.
Oh, I couldn't agree more, man. I love it. Some great looking sizes right now. Grab you one. Acer Shirosawa Moonrise coming back on MrMaple.com today. All right, you know what would pair well with Moonrise?
We got a killer lineup for you guys. A lot of these 10 and 10s, and we're joking about it, but it's true, man. A lot of these 10 and 10s, if you took those 10 plants or 20 plants that we list and you put them out in a garden, you know, spaced out and put in the right places, it'd be a pretty sweet garden, right? I mean, that's what we try to do with these 10 and 10s. Cultivate a beautiful list of plants so you guys could have fun kind of landscaping and designing your garden areas. But we got Acer palmatum, dark ghost. Oh man, this is part of the original Gold series, but it's like a newer release.
Yeah, yeah, it was a later, it's probably one of the latest releases of that original Ghost series. Talon counts it as a Ghost because he named it, it's got Ghost in it. So he counts it as part of the original 9. The Ghost series, Dark Ghost, the newest one of those. Really a showstopper. Love the dark foliage you get on this one. I mean, I'm going to be like Tim, I'm going to put 4 dark. So it's dark foliage on it. Really cool there. Absolutely a showpiece. So typically 8 to 10 foot in 10 years. Great looking tree. Nice upright form. It's a good grower too. So it makes a nice upright tree with a good sized canopy to it. A little like a larger Amagi in how it fills out. So you get a little bit more of that semi-pendulous width to it.
Yeah, I love the reticulated Japanese maples. And this is like one of the darkest in that range, in that vein of that reticulated style. So I think, it really creates a dynamic color contrast in your garden because, you have a lot of greens, like dark greens and things like this. This gives you dark, red, burgundy tones on this. But you can still see that veining in it. Even though you have that dark leaf, you can still see that veining in it. That reticulation is very strong in this cultivar.
Really cool plant. I mean, it pairs well with the original Ghost series. Makes a lot of sense with things like Amber Ghost.
Yeah.
Sister Ghost, First Ghost really pair with this really extremely well. So it kind of plays off a lot of those original Ghosts very well. Just an absolute showstopper, though. I love this one. It's going to be a tree that's going to go out in your garden and make a real presence. So it's going to be one of those trees. I like to plant this kind of up close because that reticulation is subtle. From a distance, it's going to look more like a red tree, have a little bit more of that Emperor 1 type effect. But as you get up close to this one, you can really enjoy all that nuanced variegation. So I like to kind of put this one somewhere where I'm going to be up closer and interact with it.
Yeah, and
put some yellow around it. Something like Golden Fall is really going to pop.
Oh man, I mean, this thing is going to make everything else in your garden stand out even more. I love how you can take Japanese maples and use other Japanese maples to kind of play on that contrast of color, texture. When reticulated styles, most of them have really great fall colors, and there's no exception. Some nice crimson reds fall colors on this, so it's going to light up even in the fall as well.
Love it. If you got a spot in your garden where you want something to add some contrast, I like to put this in front of some greenery. If you got a really bold green area and you want some red that's going to stand out, this is going to look great. Also really looks amazing next to a light colored house or a shed. So if you have an area where you have a lighter colored setup and you want that bold presence, think about a Dark Ghost. It's really going to come in there and kind of add that new dynamic to the color, break up all those darker evergreens we tend to have in the summer.
Yeah. Very cool plant. Dark Ghost, Talon Buckholtz introduction. Can't go wrong with that. All right, here we go. We got another cultivar for you. We got Acer Palmatum Shin DeShojo.
Guys, if you like DeSojo, we have the Shin of the DeSojo. I was watching a thing the other day and somebody was like, what's the difference? He was like, good marketing. So this one came out of Japan as well. DeSojo, very popular for bonsai. Shin does mean improved. So somebody originally said this is an improved form of DeSojo. I'll tell you the two are very, very similar. Now, Shin DeSojo and DeSojo do have slightly different colors if you're comparing them side by side. I think the Shin DeSojo was a seedling from DeSojo, and it does have slightly different color if you're comparing the two side by side. But are they similar? Heck yeah, they're very similar plants. This one, though noted for having a faster growth rate, does really well in sunlight too. So it gets out there, makes a nice sized tree, typically over a foot of growth a year. So you do get a little bit more elevated growth out of the Shin DeSojo.
Yeah, and this is, such a great spring interest Japanese maple. I think that's what makes it so popular for bonsai, is you get this really, really vibrant pinks and reds in the springs coming. This thing has a nice little eye to it as well. You can see a little bit of just the veining on that leaf when it first comes out in spring, a little yellow eye to it. So nice contrast in colors. And then it just continues it carries that all the way into summer. You got not a lot of new growth flushes over top of that. And then your fall color is sometimes mistaken as the spring color. Right. It's so vibrant, so clear, and that's, I think, what makes this one stand out.
I love it. Very popular for bonsai. These are grafted. They're low grafts, but you can always get a grafted material, put it in the ground, then get air layers and rooted cuttings off that. Let that be your tree in the ground. They'll grow better from graft, and then create your bonsai material from there. DeSojo and Shin DeSojo are some of the most premium bonsais for cost. So if you're looking at older bonsai, DeSojo and Shin DeSojo pull a premium because of that color. That new growth midsummer gives it that bouquet-like effect even on the bonsai. So really a dope one there. Now, you can put this in a landscape. Not too far from us is a big one landscape I gave Dad as a Father's Day gift, probably in like 2008 or something. Right. It's been a minute. So it's a great plant for the landscape as well. Shades out the rest of your collection. Really gets out there a lot quicker than many of the other trees. You will get some flaking style variegation in this one like you do with with like something like Japanese Princess.
Right.
You'll get some of that spotting in this one from time to time as well.
Yeah, it's almost like it tries to throw a little bit of a sport on it, you know, a reoccurring sport that kind of happens within Shindo Shoujo. And I like that. It's just a little extra feature. It can be conditional. It's not always there, but it's kind of a little extra something that it can do for you. A smaller leaf too, which leads into that good for bonsai, great container plant. Put one of these in a pot up on the patio. Pretty heat tolerant plant as well.
So I used to be the president of the North American Maple Society, and before that I was even on the board for many years. And I introduced a Maple of the Year program with the North American Maple Society, where each year the Maple Society votes on the Tree of the Year. And in 2018, DeSojo was the Maple Society Tree of the Year. Kind of a cool honor. You know, a lot of people voted on this, and it's in a lot of gardens. It's got a lot of notoriety, and it comes well recommended.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, for all the seasoned collectors out there, if they're putting this as a Maple of the Year, definitely one that ranks high. And just that spring interest there's very few things out there that gets that bright in the spring.
Could be the Tree of the Year in your garden. Check it out today on Mr. Maple.
Shindo Shoujo.
All right, this next tree, probably going to sell out pretty fast. You may want to add this one to cart. Check out. We haven't had it in a minute. A lot of people have been waiting on it. We're bringing back Acer Bajirianum Waco Nishiki.
Hey, you know what would pair good with that?
Right.
I mean, every tree we got today would pair great.
It would look good next to Dark Ghost.
I mean, Dark Ghost, Shindo
It's kind of the white ghost of the Bajirianum world.
Yeah, but this thing's got some crazy wicked. I was just kind of refreshing my mind looking through some of the pictures, man. This thing is so crazy pale white. You can see a little bit of that veining in it, that kind of reticulated style variegation on a trident maple is so wicked, man. The leaf on this thing is crazy.
They do green up midsummer, but that's one of the beauties of this one. Originally in Japan, people would leave the rootstock on this one because they thought it wouldn't have any chlorophyll to it. So this tree leaves out consistently very white, then goes to a green, then goes to a bold red in the fall. I'll say this, Waco Nishiki is probably the whitest of all trident maples. When it first leaves out, you get some really crazy shades of just complete pale. Gets out there too, makes a nice sized tree. The fact that it greens up midsummer is actually a benefit because it creates its own chlorophyll then. If it stayed that white, I'm not so sure it would make it.
Right, yeah. Definitely great something you could tuck into kind of your shade garden. I've kind of got this shade garden theme going on where I'm trying to put a lot of my variegated plants to kind of brighten that space up. And you know, with the trident maple, they're also really known for their fall color too. So you get so much interest in this with that crazy white spring and then going to that crazy crimson red in the fall. It's such a contrast and drastic transition in those colors.
These are going to work zones 5 through 9 as well, but they're very drought resistant and very heat resistant. So they do very good in high heat conditions. Beautiful plant. Gets out there at over a foot of growth a year, so it makes a nice presence in landscape. Waco Nishiki is one of my favorite tridents. So, I mean, we sell some top-notch tridents here. Love Michael Steinhardt. Love a lot of those trident maples. I'm really partial to this one. The color on this one is amazing. Just absolutely gets out there and glows, especially in that early spring garden.
So you guys heard it from the maple master over here. If you need a trident maple and you just got to pick one, you only got room for one, here we go. Waco Nishiki, we got them here at MrMaple.com today.
Great looking sizes.
All right, guys, we got another amazing maple for you today. We got a cool dwarf, man. One of my favorite dwarf Japanese maple. We got Acer palmatum Kurohime.
You know, people are going to say we said everyone's our favorite. It's because they are.
It's because
we love all of the maples. Guys, I love Kurohime too. It's one of my favorites. I absolutely love this thing. Great for the container garden. Awesome dwarf compact tree. Crazy new growth. So you can almost get, you know, there's no blue Japanese maples, but you get some funky colors on this one. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Hong Long. You get this like translucent blue-green kind of color, this darker blue, darker green, with that pink new growth over top of it, especially in summer. So those new growth can really hit. You get these pale kind of colors, and it really shows out with that kind of trifecta again. Now, early spring, the whole tree leaves out kind of a bold red to pink.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I think, you know, when it comes to dwarfs, you know, you want something that's just going to really grab your attention. And the really small leaf on this just adds such a crazy texture. Each lobe is like really finely pointed on the ends as well. Just it gives it such like a sharp kind of pointed texture to it. And the way that new growth comes to flush up, it's like it shoots these little pillars of pink out with that olive green color underneath. It's so wild right now. I've got a nice size one in my garden that's just going off with all this summer new growth on it. It's one of those maples that every time I go out and walk my garden, I wind up at that one really kind of looking deeper into it and appreciating its beauty.
It is a showstopper, 4 to 5 feet tall, makes it a perfect dwarf for a lot of landscapes, guys. We don't put this one in the Makawa family. but I'll tell you, no Makawa garden's complete without a Kurohime in it. It really stands out. It pairs so well with a lot of those interesting Makawa types, gives you some different texture, and the size really lends itself well to small container gardens or that kind of fairy garden-esque where you have a lot of small trees together.
Yeah, you can really play with this one too in the sun versus shade. I mean, it's a very heat-tolerant plant, so you can give it a lot of sun, or if you have it in a shady spot, you're not going to lose too much color because you're going to still get that vibrant spring color and then that vibrant new summer growth over top.
Absolutely love it. Grab you one on MrMaple.com today at 10. All right, guys, next up, we've got a fun, compact one. You don't see this one out there often. We helped get into the trade from our friend Dr. Kernetsky. He found this as a witch's broom around the Chapel Hill, North Carolina area. It's called Little Joe.
Yeah, this thing is wild, man. It's really been grabbing my attention out in the greenhouses. Seems like every time I pass a set of these, the texture is just crazy. I love that broom style leaf where you get that short center lobe on that leaf. It just creates such an interesting kind of like bubbly texture, just the way that rounded lobe, I don't know what it does to it, just makes the whole leaf just look different, you know, than anything else that you're looking at in the greenhouses. So it always stands out. And I noticed too, the structure on these is kind of wild. They'll shoot off an arm here and there and just kind of have a really unique, interesting shape to them.
Kind of like with Pink Princess, it's vigorous at first, but then it tightens up. So they'll get out there vigorous at first, but it only wants to be about a 4 to 5 foot tall, 4 to 5 foot wide ball. So it densens up a ton. You'll get a lot of new growth when they're really young, kind of shooting out. But they tighten up, they give you that short and center node. Now, one of my favorite things about this one is the new growth color is a bright pink. So it's a real clear, kind of almost Kelly green in the summer, real crisp green to it.
Yeah.
But that new growth over top of that will almost be a bouquet on top of that of just like pink new growth, which really glows. I think it sets this one apart from a lot of the other green brooms too. Really an all around just great plant for that small area garden. I think it really adds to, like, I'm really critical of green witches brooms. There's several of them out there. So unless they have something kind of extra going on, I've evaluated probably 5 or 6 green brooms that I never put to the trade because they just didn't do anything different than Tiny Tim or Matthew or Kunara Pygmy. This one I think adds something to the collection. I absolutely love this one. And I love the color patterns it gets to.
So this was named by a friend of yours that it was kind of brought it to you and said, hey, I've got this broom. What do you guys think about it? Do some analysis on it. And you guys felt like, hey, this is definitely different enough. We need to get it out.
Right, exactly how that came about. Dr. Kernetsky found this one. He named it for his brother Joe, Little Joe here. So Dr. Kernetsky, really intelligent guy, does a lot of breeding on things like magnolias, really next level horticulture guy on himself. And he was like, hey guys, get this one out there and tell me what you think. Absolutely loved it. So we've got it into the trade. Kind of quasi member of the Area 51. We didn't name it or find it, but our friend kind of gave it to us to get into the trade. A lot like Kristen Starr. It was kind of brought to us ready made. We did help evaluate it. So really cool plant here. Great for that container garden for sure.
Yeah, I love dwarf Japanese maples. So if you're working in a small space and a smaller garden, it's perfect for that. Container gardening, you're into that. This is definitely one of those that you want to give it a try. Because I think, like you said, you're always looking for something that sets itself apart. The texture on this thing is crazy, and just the way its growth habit is always interesting to me.
Absolutely love it. Grab you some great sizes, some big Little Joes here today.
Definitely.
All right, conifer heads, we got a good one here for you today. We're bringing back Chamaecyparis lasaniana whistle Cigaro. I absolutely love the way this tree looks. It makes these little cathedrals in the landscape. It's got that kind of regal look to it. It just has it. Almost looks like a little cactus sometimes in the landscape. It looks like a Cigaro.
Yeah, this is a really cool plant. It gives you these really nice kind of like blue-green textures, these like frosted blue colors. And each one of them is different. Like I've never seen any two of these the same. The way they just kind of shoot up these random little arms and pillars and create such an interesting like vertical interest out in the garden. It really plays into my mind because I've been trying to add a lot of those types of things. I've got a General Pulowski. I've got a Cheerman.
Oh, nice.
Which are kind of in that same world of like just these weird like pillar, vertical interest plants out in your garden. This is definitely one you need to add.
Now, these are going to work zones 4 through 8, but they can be a little tricky in the south. Fear not, these are on disease-resistant rootstock, and that makes all the difference in the world for the south. These are grafted to disease-resistant rootstock, which I find vastly improves this tree over a rooted cutting or one grafted to non-disease-resistant rootstock. Because of that, this tree will thrive and look so much better here in the south.
Yeah, absolutely. So if it's one that you've kind of hesitated on in the past, don't worry about that. We've got this on some disease-resistant rootstock for you guys. So it's going to work a lot more in a lot more zones. This is good up to zone 4 as well. So it can get into some colder climates, which, you know, those of you who live up north and you're shopping at Mr. Maple, definitely pick one of these up.
I can tell you I love this plant, but I was discouraged with it early on. I've been doing this almost 20 years now,
Right.
believe it or not, full time. So I got this tree early on and tried doing it as rooted cuttings, and I kept losing them. I was so discouraged with it. I love the plant, but I kept looking for the right answer. There's been some great developments in disease-resistant rootstock that really improve the overall durability of this plant. It's the only way to be growing Whistle Cigaro. Grab you one here today on the good rootstock.
Absolutely.
All right, last but not least, we got Celebration.
Dude, we've been bringing a lot of great Talon Buckholz introductions, celebrations. Now, I've heard that this one has been called a few times maybe one of Talon's best reticulated Japanese maples out there.
Guy Merlot, who's on that, you know, he's up there as far as, he's in France. He's one of those guys that knows his stuff. You know,
Right.
He's on that Yano tier level. Guy who really has done a lot for maples. He said he thinks this is Talon's best introduction of all time.
Dude,
that is high praise.
That's high praise, man. Talon has some of the most amazing trees out there and a wide spectrum of trees as well. So to say that this was one of those top selections out there, the pink color on this, I think, really sets Celebration. I mean, it is so vibrant and so exciting when this thing starts to leaf out. I mean, I always think, you know, I always get excited in the spring, but there's like certain trees that like really get me jazzed up, and Celebration does it for me.
Smaller stature, typically around 6 to 7 foot even in 10 years. I love the summer growth on this one too. You can get some just really flashy, flamboyant new growth on this. I mean, sometimes in the summer I run out to this one too. You'll get greener, older growth, but some of that new growth can be the hottest pink I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. A real showstopper of a plant, easy to grow. Talon Buckholz said he named this one because he's such a cheerful guy. He wanted to let everybody know he was, you know, real positive. It's a celebration. And I often tell people too, it's a great tree for a celebration.
Right.
So if you're celebrating, you know, Tim's got a baby coming up pretty soon. Great tree to plant at a birth, celebrating the birth there. Sometimes people will pick out memory trees for people too, and they'll pick something like Grandma Ghost. And I'm always like, man, you can't pick Grandma Ghost for a memory tree. Celebration's a great way to celebrate
Yeah, it is.
a loved one, or say a pet that you're celebrating in your garden. Celebration's a great way, and I think a more honorable way than maybe a dark ghost or something.
Yeah. It's a really cool tree. I mean, you're right, though. I mean, I think there's so many different ways that you can think about this tree. I was sitting there where you were talking about that. I was like, I'm a big plant person, so like spring is a big celebration to me. So like whenever I'm coming out of those long, hard winters, it's like I'm just ready for spring so bad.
Oh, man.
And when this thing gets kicking off, you're just like, all right, here we go. We're about to have a crazy show. My favorite time of the year, honestly, is springtime when it comes to Japanese maples, because I think it's just like, you waited so long for that moment, that anticipation, like, you know, it just takes it to a whole nother level.
Spring is that celebration. You could throw on some Kool in the Gang, celebrate good times, put it on the Spotify playlist, walk around your celebration, just get your little disco line on your own. I love this tree. I think it's one of Talon's greatest as well. I mean, we got this early on, and we talked to Guy Merlot about it. We heard that. I mean, we heard that from Talon saying it, but then we correspond with him as well.
Right.
So we were getting some feedback like, this is big. And Talon, many years before we bought Buckholz, got this to us. So probably about 5 years before it actually got into the trade.
Right.
And we kind of got that little tidbit like, this is going to be extra special. So we went to overtime on grafting mode with this one. It was like, okay, we understand we understand the agenda. We know what to do here. We're going to knock this out. And I think we've been doing a really good job of delivering this one, getting it out into the trade. And I think it's one of the all-time best trees Talon's done.
Absolutely. Well, hey, guys, we really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. It's always fun getting out here. I got to hang out with my homie Matt today, talking about some of our favorite plants out here. Lots of great Buckholz introductions today. Lots of other great plants on our 10 at 10 sale. There's going to be 10 other plants that we did talk about today, so make sure to check that out.
Guys, come see us Labor Day. It's going to be September 1st from 8 to 4.
House.
It's going to be an awesome time. We'll put out more stuff on our website. There's a group on Facebook or an event on Facebook you can see there. Go check out Mr. Maple Friends. We'll throw some updates in there. If we have a speaker or a game show or whatever's going on there, you'll find it out there first. Guys, we'd love to see you then. Thanks for tuning in to our 10 at 10.
Take care.
God bless.
Have a great day.